Hello. Today we will review the most incredible luck that was recorded on video. So let's go. The crazy movie was filmed in 2012 in Wisconsin with the usual AP airplanes. It almost sent several people to the other world because it is still common in airplanes to fly on metal plates, and here it was made of wood. It's no wonder there were no murders, but many people were injured. One boy even lost his leg. But what a shame it is. The guy was almost crushed by the ships. How is it that you rush? You know. Well, look at this. The guy seems to be shocked. And this is an example of a joke. A strange and fascinating image. If someone was covered, then it would hardly have been possible to survive. People, not rocks. It is said that without jumpers, they are very well fed. Here is a good example of why. The case took place in Spain. At an Australian athlete, the parachute went to the building. When she jumped from a height of 160 meters, the girl pushed herself against the wall of the stairs, but everything was in vain. One moment or the next there was a mysterious miracle. Someone from the guests forgot to close the window. From the 10th floor, the girl, in some inexplicable way, managed to get into it. As a result, the athlete got away with only a few bruises. Parachute jumping is not the joke. Sometimes a real drama unfolds in the sky. Many athletes die in an absurd manner when the parachutes break, one into the other. Here in 2005, there was no such tradition. When soldiers in training had the misfortune of jumping into the hole to catch their parachutes, but then it ended successfully. When one managed to catch the other and hold him until he reached the ground, but one of them was injured in the leg. But this is the extreme Jack Collier, who in 2002 died while diving at high speed to the left. His friends who watched the scene thought that it was the end of Jack. But to their surprise, he did not get lost, and a few seconds before reaching the ground, managed to open the parachute, which resulted in both of them being torn apart, but he survived. Based in Norwegian Richard Timmerix during the filming of the documentary about extreme sports, performing acrobatic elements on the top of the cape that fell into the abyss with a depth of more than 1 kilometer. The guy could have easily died, but fortunately he didn't get lost and flew correctly. As he has done many times before, let's save our lives. Find base gender from jokes minus he got a tradition. Look at what smile, only in action movies you will see something like that. Base gender, base gender, base gender, base gender, base gender, girls. I think his whole life passed before his eyes, but the guys didn't get lost, and in time they maneuvered to the other side. But you don't see anything like that in the movie either. Just look at this lucky guy. Here's a moment like yes. Are you watching another one? Yes, like Jackie Chan. In the capital of the Philippines, in a residential building with several floors, the foundation began to collapse, and as if by miracle it didn't immediately collapse to the ground. It seems like he waited until all the residents were evacuated, so that after that they would fall to the ground. The study missed the reason why the buildings collapsed was the use of low-quality materials during construction, and the fact that the foundation was weakened because another building was built next to it. Only by a miracle did no one die in this monstrous destruction. In 2012, in Turkey, at one point the ground collapsed under people's feet. At the last moment, 2 people managed to escape through the sides. And one man, no, he didn't walk that far, and he was also pulled into the hole. Fortunately, he didn't get a scratch, he just had a bad blow. Here, a firefighter was almost crushed by a piece of wall that collapsed from the building. Yes, he was born like that. Why do you have to look around when you cross the road? Another one. And another one. Yes, we need to be more careful. So the man drives the car, and in a moment, no. Here's something similar. Awesome, imagine what a band there was. Buy from advertising, he almost didn't send the guy to the other world. Look at this. Of course he tells you that he calculated everything. That's it. If the video gets a lot of likes, I'll make another part. It's coming soon, and take care of yourselves. Thank you.